Today is the second anniversary of the U.S. Supreme Court's Dobbs decision, which overturned Roe v. Wade, allowing states and the federal government to ban abortion. Planned Parenthood of Illinois says it has seen about a 47% increase in the number of patients seeking abortions. A quarter of all patients are now coming from out of state. Before Dobbs, out-of-state patients made up 3 to 5% of abortion cases.
We did a lot of work in order to expand our capacity, make sure that we were prepared for the influx of patients that we knew would see when Roe v. Wade was overturned with the Dobbs decision. And we did. The impact of it was immediate.
Despite the influx of new patients, she says wait times have not increased.